Good evening, and thanks for joining us on Nationwide today. I'm Elizabeth Omori. We begin with disaster management. In a move for Nigeria to adopt proactive flood strategy to curb disaster, the federal government launched the Anticipatory Action Task Force this year. And now, a workshop to strengthen coordinated risk monitoring and communication for flood has been held in Abuja. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports that Vice President Kashim Shettima declared the workshop open at the National Counter-Terrorism Center, Office of the National Security Advisor.
The National Hydrological Services Agency recently released the 19th Annual Flood Outlook in Nigeria.
Welcome to National.
This meeting brought together technical experts, policy actors, and international partners to finalize the framework that aims to change Nigeria's approach to climate-induced disasters through early warning systems and community-based preparedness.
Studies have shown that anticipatory action can reduce losses by up to 60%. That is not just a statistic, it is hope. It is the future of millions salvaged before rain. It is the logic behind this shift, championed by our administration under the reassuring leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The President has welcomed strong collaboration to drive this strategic pivot. This involves combining technical expertise, financial resources, and operational capacity from within government and with our development partners.
The workshop is more than a gathering. It is a reaffirmation of our commitment to advancing early warning systems and timely response mechanism as vital instruments for safeguarding our most vulnerable populations from the devastating impact of disasters.
Through the renewed Hope agenda, the Mr. President is leading a bold shift from reaction to prevention, from fragmentation to coordination, and from despair to dignity. His commitment to inclusive governance, poverty reduction places the poor, the displaced, the vulnerable at the heart of his own national priority and agenda.
The initiative aligns with global frameworks to mitigate the impact of natural disasters and protect vulnerable communities.
Today's gathering marks a continuation of that momentum. This workshop is designed to accelerate our journey towards a national early warning system that is integrated, inclusive, and anticipatory.
A few weeks away from the leading season, the raining season have already started, and we still have fresh in our memory what we have struggled with during past year flood.
It is expected that the traditional response of mobilizing relief after floods strike is no longer sustainable, and stakeholders must act now to protect lives and livelihoods by leveraging science, technology, and collaboration. In Abuja, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
Now to irrigation and drainage, the 6th African Regional Conference, which held in Abuja, addressed pressing issues relating to irrigation and drainage, as well as methods to drive sustainable agricultural practices. Usman Zuberi reports that President Bola Tinubu at the event called for urgent action towards transforming African irrigation and drainage systems.
Africa is still facing significant challenges in maximizing its irrigation potential and drainage management due to inadequate infrastructure, with growing population expected to exceed 2.5 billion by 2050, which means more food should be provided to meet the demand. This 6th African Regional Conference on Irrigation and Drainage, convergence of a global network of experts working together for sustainable agriculture and water management.
Confidently say that this conference is a call to action, urging especially African countries towards enhancing our potential in agriculture by exploring innovative strategies to transform Africa's irrigation and drainage landscape.
Transforming irrigation management in Nigeria to remain project, alongside other viable programs and projects embarked upon by the ministry, have created impressive impact on the irrigation and drainage system in Nigeria.
Growing population, growing food demand, and growing food security with the issue of water security. How to cope this? This is the challenge we have in front of us.
This requires more than goodwill. It demands policy reform, financing mechanisms, and transboundary cooperation.
The conference will afford participants the opportunity to learn and adopt innovative approaches towards addressing challenges. Usman Zberu, NTA News.
Talking tourism, the federal government has confirmed its readiness to host the 68th meeting of the UN Tourism Commission for Africa in Abuja. The Minister of Arts, Culture and Tourism and the Creative Economy, Hannatu Musa Musawa, says the event is part of federal government's efforts to strengthen collaboration and drive shared vision of tourism as a powerful driver for sustainable development across the African continent.
As a nation, is creating initiatives that will really open up the conversation on job creation. And this is one of the ways we can do that. There's a lot of ability and opportunity to do that within the tourism sector. So this particular event, the UN Tourism Commission for Africa, the CAF, is a great opportunity for us as a nation at this particular time.
The conference itself will be focusing on two core topics. Is when we look at the best practices and the policies around digital skills and entrepreneurship in the tourism sector, as well as the creative industries. But also the next day, we will be looking at how we are using AI to drive solutions within the tourism sector.
With these efforts, Nigeria's tourism sector is expected to create 2.6 million new jobs within the next decade, doubling the number of those employed within the sector by 2032. Talking inclusion, in a bid to promote disability-inclusive policies, empower persons with disabilities, and collaborate on awareness campaigns to promote positive perspectives and combat stigmatization, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Special Needs and Equal Opportunities, Mohamed Abba Issa, and the United Nations Resident Coordinator, Mohamed Fall, are seeking ways to address challenges faced by persons with disabilities.
You have the commitment, you have the institutional framework, and then you have the data architecture that help you to work. All the challenge is now how you can translate this into programming and implement it and make sure that at least you are reaching the people that need to be reached. And I feel this is not something that I will advocate for, but our partner also the way.
You know, there's a Washington group tool that we can use to generate data. So if you're doing that sectorally or, you know, across, that would be nice for us to start gathering specific data.
It's a priority area, like UNRC said, of our actions, but we want to put out to it some kind of accountability measurement. And if it starts at the presidency level, they trickle down easily. And we can emphasize, amplify the same message in different ministries we collaborate with.
So far, persons with disability, they are facing a multiple challenge in terms of accessibility in infrastructure, access to education, access to inclusive education. Our meeting here is a great milestone for all the duty bearers, ministry, department, and agencies so that they can come in order to see that we implement disability inclusive development in line with the mandate that Mr. President gave us.
Working together, Nigeria will create a more inclusive society where persons with disabilities will have equal opportunities to thrive and contribute to economic growth. In other news, the National Intelligence Service of the Republic of Korea has commended the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency for its exceptional effort and professionalism in apprehending a wanted 59-year-old drug baron, Ogbonaya Kevin Jeff, whose 17 years of hiding to ship illicit drugs worth billions of naira across the world ended in February following his arrest by NDLE operatives in Lagos. Ogbonaya had for years shipped illicit drugs linked to him to South Korea. He had served a one-year prison sentence in Korea in 2007 for drug offenses and deported to Nigeria in 2008. Excited with the breakthrough, a delegation from the Korean Intelligence Service paid the Chairman Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, a courtesy visit to deliver a letter of appreciation by the Director of NIS. He assured them that the world can also count on Nigeria in the global effort against illicit drug trafficking. He also thanked the Korean government for the donation of equipment to the agency, adding that the agency will study their request for extradition and work within the limits allowed by the Nigerian laws. To road safety, the Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Shehu Mohammed, has directed commanding officers to ensure full deployment of staff for maximum visibility, prompt removal of obstructions and ease of movement on all highways across the country. This is in line with the operational guidelines of this year's Easter Special Patrol, scheduled to commence from 16th to 23 April 2025. The aim is to reduce road traffic crashes, fatalities and injuries, aid prompt response to road traffic crash victims and speedy removal of obstruction from the highways, amongst others. Now, in Benin City is receiving an environmental hygiene boost with decluttering across major roads and markets. Awuni Okolo tells us more on what the urban waste management looks like in Benin.
In recent past, roads like Mission Road would look like this. Markets like Aduawa Tomatoes Market would look like this. But now, they wear a cleaner look. Why, you would ask? Residents ascribe this to prompt evacuation of waste, not necessarily a reduction in waste generation.
Nipos South Quarter. They pay for those waste disposal so that they can carry our own steady.
There are people that used to come and be carrying the waste products. There is a particular company that comes to remove the waste.
But there are some areas in the metropolis that have experienced the opposite.
My house there is Uselu. They are owing me, I think last year, June, if I'm not mistaken. Now they carry my dirty last, and I paid till December.
On the part of government, cleaning up Edo is top on the agenda, and efforts will get to areas previously.
And we will be hearing more from Awunle, who is standing by to give us additional information on how the state government is going about its urban renewal program. Awunle, thank you so much for joining us on Nationwide, and let's hear more from you.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. I am actually at Aduawa Market here. We chose this location because usually right on the road you will see heaps of refuse, almost 1 meter apart. You would see heaps of refuse, even in the median you will see bags of refuse, but it's no more like that.
Okay.
And it's been replicated across different parts of the city. And just today, one of the policies that the government has unfolded to make sure that this is sustained is the reintroduction of general sanitation. Every last Saturday of the month will now be sanitation day between the hours of 7 and 10 o'clock in the morning, so that the citizens and the government can key in together to making sure that environmental sanitation is taken seriously. While that is being done, the government is also making sure that the waste collectors across the city will be properly checked, as they are now working with the local governments to make sure that waste collection goes seamlessly, especially to areas that have been previously neglected. Just like that background mentioned, some persons who complained of waste collection not being properly done in their areas. So they have put out a call line so that people can always call them to tell them about the areas where the waste collection is not properly done. Aside that also, in a chat with the managing director of the Edo State Waste Management Board, he hinted that in the coming months, the state government is working towards having a recycle plant in Edo State here. So because the government wants to key into the waste to wealth initiative to make sure that this is sustained, all the waste that are being taken from the markets, from the streets, can't be properly utilized, waste to energy, waste to plastics, waste to manure to boost the agricultural sector and then overall boost the economy of the state.
All right, Anwuli, let me ask you this question. What would monitoring be like in Edo State for this particular decision?
Apologies, I didn't get you. Your voice is
What
breaking.
would monitoring be like in all the local governments to ensure compliance? Monitoring, what would monitoring be like in terms of compliance? All right, we seem to have lost audio with Anwuli, but thank you,
I assume
Anwuli.
that you're asking of more...
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I would assume you're asking of what policies are still coming up.
Okay, looks like we've lost audio with you, but thank you so much for your contribution and the update. Thank you very much. All right, let's move on. In the wake of renewed violent attacks in parts of Plateau State, with the latest in Zikwe, Kwal, and Kampe in Bassa local government area, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, says in spite of limited coverage of the state by security personnel, the police is deploying alternative means of ending the cycle of violence in the state. He stated this while on an assessment visit to Plateau State.
The Inspector General of Police was in the state for a critical assessment of the renewed violent attacks on Zike, Kwal, and Kimakpa Monday morning, where about 51 persons, including women and children, were killed. While in Jos, the IGP commiserated with the government and families of those killed in the unprovoked attacks. He condemned the attacks in its entirety, saying the force has deployed more men and assets and is intensifying efforts to identify the masterminds of the attacks.
We will continue to work tirelessly until we're able to solve these problems. The criminals are exploiting the obvious fact that it is not possible for us to cover all the vulnerable communities in Plateau State with manpower. But what we cannot cover with manpower, we will look for other ways of covering them.
Governor Caleb Mutfwang described the incident as a major setback to the peace the state has enjoyed in the last 1 year, 3 months.
And what has happened in the hinterland of Plateau is plain murder, is sheer criminality that took place, where innocent lives were massacred.
Meanwhile, the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 4, Zachariah Ferra Achinyang, is on ground to oversee the operations in Jos, Indenyan, and Abuja. NTA News.
Governor Caleb Mutfwang says despite renewed attacks leading to the killings of innocent lives, he will not relent investing in security architecture to secure the state. This was at Bassa local government area of the state. Bilkisu Nohu brings us details.
The Monday morning attacks led to the death of some innocent lives in Kimakpa and Ziki communities, Bassa local government area of Plateau State. Governor Caleb Mutfwang, accompanied by security chiefs, urged them not to relent in their efforts to secure their communities and ensure that they complement security agencies' efforts by providing vital information for intelligence gathering and expose the criminals.
What I know is that it is God that gave Irigwe people this land, and no one will take it away from them. So we must rise to the occasion. It's not time to lament. We cannot bring the dead back to life. And I want to bring you the assurances of Mr. President that he will support us to stay alive.
The paramount ruler of Irigwe, Landi Brangwe Rigwe, Reverend Ronko Aku, urged government to come to the aid of the communities with provision of social amenities in the area. The governor also visited some families who lost their loved ones in the attacks. In Jos, Bilkis Nuhu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas condemns the latest killings in some communities in Plateau State, calling for decisive action by security agencies to end such barbaric acts. Reacting to reports on the latest attacks on Zike and Kimakpa communities of Kwal district in Bassa local government area of Plateau State, the Speaker expresses deep concerns that innocent people are being killed in repeated attacks. The Speaker says enough of the killings on the Plateau and other parts of the country. You're watching Nationwide on NTA. Let's head to Lagos, where Awal is standing by with some reports. Awal is standing by with
Creating
some
a workforce that can add value rather than being part of the problems that organizations have to grapple with requires reawakening and reinvention of the mindset to achieve self-awareness to enhance productivity. Leadership and strategic thinking experts at an engagement on ways to maximize productivity identified self-development and inclusion as major enabler. Joel Popola has the report.
Organizations recruit staff from different backgrounds, and these individual differences have impact on the operations of companies. Identifying the strength and weakness of the workers is instrumental to achieving the overall objective of any organization. This gathering of life coaches, authors, and seasoned experts from different walks of life is to help address the crux of the problem, which they say is self-awareness, which could be a springboard to attain goals. Speaking on resilience and tenacity in workplace, the stakeholders agreed that self-development will propel workers to achieve their expectations.
Self-awareness has moved people ahead in life. And why do I say that? Because sometimes it's not the person who is the most skilled that gets promoted all the time. So we're also looking at behavioral tendencies. We're looking at attitudinal tendencies. We're looking at how accommodating you are. We're looking at how you are more accepting of other people, because we are living in a cross-cultural environment where everyone needs to thrive.
High and unending societal expectations can be a pulsating experience for some, hence the need to live in the authenticity of oneself.
When you stop outsourcing your work and start tuning inward to yourself, that's when your real freedom begins. That is when I found my freedom, when I stopped playing to the gallery.
And for you to be able to excel in the workplace, you need to understand that your work is beyond your job description. It's about the value you are adding, ensuring that you are a problem solver and not being part of the problem to be solved.
Stakeholders agreed that this conversation must be sustained to reconfigure the society while achieving personal rebates. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigeria Customs Service has reaffirmed its commitment to excellence delivery while safeguarding national interest by curbing all forms of illegitimate trade and increasing revenue for national development through collaboration with stakeholders, sister agencies, and strategic partnership. Adejoke Odeka tells us more.
The Nigeria Customs Service, known for its role in revenue collection, enforcement of relevant laws and regulations within its area of responsibility, economic and border security, combating smuggling, ensuring compliance with trade regulations, and safeguarding national interests, is reiterating its commitment to frustrate all forms of illegitimate trade, including the airport, through continuous profiling and vigilance of officers.
We got for 75 bags of about 4,000 kg. They were arrested in different locations. We arrested, we have 5 suspects presently, in our cell.
Apart from the success with regards to various seizures, the MMA command of the Customs Service also recorded a 0.61% in revenue made possible through stakeholders' engagement.
Revenue for the period under review, 31st of March 2025, The command collected a total revenue of 45 billion 773 million 368,690 naira only from customs duties and other levies. Again, 45 billion 496 million 389,766 naira only.
The Nigeria Customs Service says it remains open to collaborations with stakeholders for a safer, more secure operational environment. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News.
And that concludes our contribution from Lagos. Nationwide will continue in Maiduguri after this break. Don't go away.
Welcome to Maiduguri. Glad to have you join us. Borno State government has admonished Sangaya teachers that the authorities will no longer condone abuse of children's rights in their learning centers. Governor Babagan Omar Azulum gave the warning during graduation ceremony of 150 Sangaya students who completed 4-month skills acquisition training at Vocational Enterprise Institute, Muna, in Jere local government area. Mohammed Kone reports.
The 150 Sangaya graduates have undergone 4-month training in various skills that include electrical, solar power installation, fishing, welding, carpentry, and leatherwork with the support of the Universal Basic Education Commission. Governor Zulum administration has stressed need to streamline the non-formal education into the formal system by introducing intensive literacy, numeracy, digital skills, as well as technical and vocational education. The governor said the state authorities have established 20 high Islamic colleges across 20 local government areas, with 7 more to build before the end of his tenure.
Moreover, I would like to take this opportunity to address a critical concern. The safety and well-being of our Sangayans. I stand firm in the commitment that the Borno State government will not tolerate any form of molestation or violence, such as killing against Almaji.
Commissioner for Education, Science, Technology and Innovation, Lan Abba Wakilbe, represented by Dr. Abubakar Tijani, said the skill acquisition training is part of the post-insurgency revival of the education system and highlighted various steps taken to enable graduates of Sangaya system to thrive in various fields of human endeavor. Chairman of the Arabic and Sangaya Education Board, Khalifa Ahmed Abul Pati, said each graduate will be given starter pack and 50,000 naira, calling on them to use the knowledge and skills they acquired for self-reliance and to support their families and the society. Shehu Borno, represented by the Talba of Borno, congratulated the graduates and wished them success in their various chosen careers, even as he enjoined them to be useful members of the society. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
Borno State Ministry of Health, in collaboration with Norwegian Church Aid, has launched the Safer Birth Bundle of Care (SBBC) initiative to enhance the quality of healthcare service delivery, particularly in maternal and newborn, as well as strengthen healthcare facilities to improve antenatal and postnatal care. Pauline Kojavana reports.
The Safer Birth Bundle of Care initiative is aimed at reducing maternal and newborn mortality rate in Borno State by providing proper care to pregnant women and improving healthcare facilities. Representative of Borno State Governor, the head of service, Dr. Mohammed Guluze, described the initiative as crucial, saying this will make Borno a more safer place for mothers and newborns.
We are gathered here not just to launch a program, but to reinforce our collective resolve to end preventable maternal and neonatal deaths in our communities.
Executive Secretary, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Mui Aino, pointed out the importance of ensuring all pregnant women receive proper care, acknowledging the initiative by Norwegian Church Aid and Borno State government's effort in prioritizing health care. Country Director, Norwegian Church Aid, Berhanu Haule Nigatu, says the need for eradicating postnatal and neonatal mortality in Nigeria, noting that out of the 72 local government areas with the crisis of maternal and newborn health across Northeast region, 13 have been identified in Borno State. Hence, the initiative towards changing the narrative. Commissioner of Health, Professor Baba Malam Gana, expressed government's commitment to achieving 45% reduction in early neonatal death within the first 24 hours, strengthening capacity of healthcare providers in maternal and newborn care, among others.
Your collaboration with Borno State Ministry of Health has been instrumental in bringing the SBBC approach to life in our state.
It is a promise to our mothers. It is a promise to our sisters. It is a promise to our daughters. And indeed, a promise to communities that every life matters.
The initiative is expected to be implemented in 4 healthcare facilities, including the Malakachala Hospital, with emphasis on eradicating postnatal and neonatal mortality. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
That does it from Maiduguri. Nationwide continues with Elizabeth in Abuja to stay with us.
Thank you so much. Women are encouraged to take their advocacy on mental health education to their various spaces to ensure that no woman suffers traumatic experience in silence. This was during a symposium organized in Abuja for diverse women's groups by the National Council for Women's Societies, with the theme Breaking the Silence, Empowering Women's Health in Nigeria. Ruth Aguele reports.
A silent killer, mental health, a significant concern for women in Nigeria. Studies show that a substantial number of the population struggles with various mental health conditions, and which is more prevalent in women than in men. This is due to cultural and societal factors, including traditional beliefs and limited access to healthcare. The advocacy here by the National Council for Women's Societies is to bridge gaps by encouraging women to break the silence by speaking out.
A lot of women are anxious. You want to take care of the family. The husband needs you to do this. The children need you to do this. The school is calling you. Your own office is calling you. So you are anxious all the time. First thing you need is to detox the mind.
As we embark on this journey, we are reminded that empowering women, that is women's mental health, is not just a moral imperative, but also a crucial step towards achieving sustainable development, promoting gender equality, and building a more just and equitable society.
I need to take care of my mental health to make sure that, I have some time rest.
When you speak out, it also helps my mental health. It relieves me.
The dialogue is to promote mental health awareness amongst women, to change the narrative and build societies where no woman suffers in silence. In Abuja, Ruth Aguele, NTA News.
Now, gone are the days when Nigeria was known for groundnut farming and exportation, when the popular groundnut pyramids in Kano stood tall in the savannah. Its disappearance has left many people wondering if the farming of peanuts has diminished or its consumption increased. Perhaps Kuli Kuli, a locally made snack from groundnut byproduct, answers some of these questions, as the groundnut cake is now going beyond the shores of Nigeria and creating jobs for many. Fatima Usman will tell us more.
Kuli Kuli is a popular local snack in Nigeria and a byproduct of groundnut. Arguably, the best of it is made in Niger State, as it is most popular among the Nupe people.
My kuli kuli is being purchased across the country and beyond, which has increased my income to support my family greatly.
Currently, we have our NAFDAC, SON, HACCP, and FDA certificates. And with all the certifications, we're able to export our products to the diaspora.
At least I have like 12 workers. We produce every day, but we produce in large quantity. We have customer in 36 states.
I used to buy to move to Kano. I think we have customer in Ibadan.
Economic watchers are, however, of the opinion that the local snack is set to upscale export chart of the country. In Mina, I am Fatima Usman, NTA News.
And Fatima is standing by to tell us all we need to know on this highly sought-after byproduct in the international markets. Fatima.
Thank you very much for that question. It is not capital intensive because one can begin with the business with whatever amount of money that can purchase as little as 1 kilogram of granules. Here it is being purchased in mudus, 1 mudu, 2 mudu, 3 mudus, which can be with as little as 10,000 naira, one can begin the business of kuli. Meanwhile, the process of removing the groundnut oil and all that can be done manually using our mortar and piece tool. And not to forget, another product that is also in high demand in terms of kuli production from the groundnut is the groundnut oil, which is one of a product that is so much sought after, and it is very rare, especially if you want to purchase a large quantity.
All right, thank you so much, Fatima, and I believe that could really be a side hustle. Thank you very much. Uduak is in Benin to give us some more reports on Nationwide. Uduak, let's hear from you.
Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome to Benin. Edo State government and the Owena Basin Development Authority are working in collaboration to boost food sufficiency in the state. This was the outcome of the meeting between the state governor, Senator Monday Upewolo, and the management team of the basin, led by the managing director, Dr. Olufemi Samuel. Goodluck Enaini has the details.
In a bid to promote agricultural activities, the Edo State government has made available the sum of 70 billion naira budgetary allocation in the 2025 fiscal year. In addition to this move, the state government is meeting with the management of the Owena River Basin Authority to fast-track the process. Governor Paulo said agricultural land in the 3 senatorial districts of the state is being enhanced to key into the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu renewed hope agenda to ensure food sufficiency in Nigeria. He said his administration is working to ensure Edo people get good water supply, as it is an important aspect of his administration.
Everything about us now is farm. We have already cleared about 500 hectares plot of land around Abuja. From there, then I moved to your place. We are also doing the same in Edo Central. We are repeating the same in Edo North. So, Edo Central, we are having about 1,500 hectares that we are clearing right now. So we are ready to farm, and we have already keyed into Mr. President's New Hope agenda.
Managing Director, Benin Owena River Basin Authority, Dr. Olufemi Samuel Adekan, pledged to support the state government in its drive to boost food sufficiency and reassures the state governor and the people of Edo that the new leadership in the authority is fully committed to safeguarding the interests of Edo.
The mandate given by Mr. President on his renewal agenda is to critically bring down the food prices. Excellency, we are here to partner with you in improving the agricultural status in the state.
He congratulated the governor on his victory at the Election Petition Tribunal ruling in Abuja. In Benin, Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
Internet users in Benin City are lamenting the recent hike in data tariff, which they say has affected ease of doing business online and other social needs that data services provide for users. Elizabeth Omoko was in town to get the views of the internet users on how they are coping with the increase in tariff.
Internet access plays a vital role in a digitalized society, offering different benefits ranging from economic opportunities, education and learning, social connections, and well-being. The absence of easy internet access can cause all this promise to rot. Nigerians in Benin City have bemoaned this increase in data tariffs as they express how it has negatively affected their lives and businesses.
Now you are increasing what the basic man cannot afford. Even myself, if I saw in a minute it's over, I can buy 6,000 naira worth of data that will last me up to a month, and it will not literally last me up to 1 minute, and it's very, very bad.
Formerly, when I load, the little I load will take me throughout the month, but now, before you press 2 or 3 things, you are not able to, the data is gone. So I don't load much as I used to load before, and I don't access the internet the way I usually do before now.
The tariff force is too high. It's affecting me so bad because I use extra money for data.
The rate at which the data is being increased is beyond expectation.
NTN 3.2 gig daily is 1,000, and that 1,000 won't even last up to like 3 hours.
They urge all concerned authorities to intervene and make internet access more easily available for the common man. In Benin, Elizabeth Omoko, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Nationwide continues in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, with Diba Bare standing by. But that will be after the break. Please stay.
Port Harcourt, the River State Administrator, Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas, has reiterated his determination to uphold the rule of law and ensure that all Rivers people, irrespective of their political inclination, have a voice in the future of the state. Vice Admiral Ibas made the call when he met with heads of youth organizations and stakeholders led by the River State Chairman of National Youth Council of Nigeria, Comrade Winsa Baribani, at Government House, Port Harcourt.
The meeting between the state administrator and the youths is part of his stakeholders consultation program. The administrator pointed to the several consultation meetings that he had brokered with key stakeholders, including civil society organizations, traditional rulers, civil servants, and leaders from various sectors, geared towards building trust among the citizenry. He urged the youths of the state to be actively involved in the programs and policies implemented by his administration towards the restoration of democratic institutions and achieving enduring peace.
My administration's focus on youth development is a multifaceted approach that seeks to prioritize 4 critical areas. First is education, providing our youth with the knowledge and skills they need to succeed.
He said a conducive environment will be created by sustaining the ongoing dialogue that will foster understanding between diverse groups so that the wounds of the past can be healed. The state chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Comrade Winsa Baribani, expressed gratitude to the Vice Admiral Ibas for meeting with them and offering them hope as critical development partners.
There is need for reorientation of our youth across the senatorial districts, across the local government. I'm very much interested for development to trickle down to the grassroots, the legs, the less privileged, which are often not being heard of.
The group assured the administrator of their support to ensure that he delivers on his mandate. In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
That's it from Port Harcourt. It's back to Elizabeth for the rest of the news. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Debabari. Beyond dissemination of information, the media must mobilize the public towards providing timely information for security agencies to facilitate proactive operations. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, stated this in his message at a media stakeholders seminar in Abuja.
Without doubt, is a worthy partner. It's the 2025 first quarter media stakeholders seminar focusing on key components of Joint Task Force Commanders' operational success. In attendance are top media executives, gatekeepers in the electronic, print and the online media platforms, as well as members of the civil society. Strengthening the partnership between the military and the media is essential in a battle where propaganda is as lethal as the bullet, and even sometimes much more lethal than the bullet.
Information remains a powerful tool in modern warfare, and its effective management determines to a large extent the success of Joint Task Force operations.
The way our operations are perceived by the local populace and international audiences determines their effectiveness.
Sometimes something happens and then the media is in a rush to get accurate information, but then that is not forthcoming. So that also has to be worked on by the military.
This will deepen synergy and partnership between security agencies and the media landscape.
The Media Stakeholders Forum is also a critical component of non-kinetic approach towards securing the nation. From the Defense Headquarters in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Now let's take it to Anambra, where the state has received a boost with the launch of Operation Udoga Achi to tackle kidnapping and other violent crimes. Chinyere Fesiokui brings us details.
This is a proactive template to assuage the fear of the unknown, to effectively police the state.
Operation Udoga Achi Zero Kidnapping and Other Violent Crimes in Anambra State is intelligence-driven with stop and search operations, joint security targeted patrols, and the operatives posted to identify locations with armored personnel carriers on alert to respond to any security threatening situation in the state. The CP and other stakeholders who addressed the gathering noted that the security forces are now more motivated, as the operation will give them more coordinated approach to reclaiming the public space.
There is going to be massive raids on spots. So please, if you see police coming to operate, do not say it as the wrong thing. It's part of our strategy.
The essence to nip in the bud criminality. Criminality that has to do with kidnapping, banditry, killing, ransom taking.
2 times or 3 times in a year when Anambranians will sit with the service chiefs to know what they lack. Mr. Governor will not provide everything.
We are here today to tell you that it will not happen again in our various restaurants. Because if you notice any kind of unauthorized movement, be rest assured that we will know what to do.
Because the crime that you condone today will definitely come to haunt you tomorrow.
In Oka, Chinyere Fesiokui, NTA News.
And Chinyere's report ends nationwide today. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Good evening.